everybody went home on Sunday. Everyone went home. Malia and Justin, our son, they drove down and they left on Sunday. Jean-Pierre had left. He flew in from Miami. Malia took him back. So Monday and then Tuesday, Monday we relaxed. They have a pool. I didn't sit around it at all. Somebody said, you should be tan. I'm like, no, I don't go outside. I'm not gonna go outside. 100-degree heat. Oh, it's raining. But it feels good. That they have a lanai that covers the pool. It's real nice, but I didn't sit outside. Real nice, but I didn't sit outside. They do have a pretty dock where they have a boat which comes up. It's real nice. But again, it was summertime in Florida. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. The one thing I really disliked, I don't know, and with all due respect to you Floridians in Fort Lauderdale, is in order to get anywhere, I'm not kidding, our son's home is like off of a big main road. Well, to go, down a dead end, it's a lovely, lovely little home. Well, actually, it's a nice home. In order to get anywhere in Fort Lauderdale, correct me if I'm wrong, Fort Lauderdalean people, but this is what our experience was. You have to get on I'm not talking a 2-lane road, I'm not talking a 3-lane road, I'm talking a 4 to 5 one-way major highway. You want 5 lanes going this way, 5 lanes coming that way. People going 80 miles an hour to go to Walmart. And if you don't know where you're going, like, forget it, because the palm trees were beautiful. But in Florida, which I've been before, it's almost like New Jersey with the pines. Again, if you're from New Jersey, the pine barrens, the things are behind the pine trees. So if you're looking for a Kohl's or a TJ Maxx, you have to know where they are because you can't really see them from the massive highway.
Directions to the closest Home Depot.
Home Depot?
Home Goods is right next to it.
We were lucky enough to drive our son's car. Ian was driving our son's car, so we had a car at our disposal. But we were having to rely on the GPS or the Google Maps or whatever to get to the shops. We did some shopping, it was nice, but like I said, that was so very stressful to me. I always drive here. My husband puts on hundreds of thousands of miles on his car. So whenever we are going anywhere casual, I get in the car and I drive. He loves me to drive. I like to drive. I'm not a backseat driver, but I do get nervous. He knows how to drive on interstates and highways and turnpikes very quickly. I don't, although I'm no schlep. I get where I'm going. But I've never had an accident. I've never had a ticket. I've been driving for over, 46 years. So I'm a very good driver. I get where I'm going quickly. But man, our son had said, Dad can drive the car, which was fine, because I didn't know where I was going. But it was a quick car, and oh my goodness, I was a nervous wreck. And again, I hate to be negative, but that I didn't like about Fort Lauderdale. It's like, why can't we do, like, to go here to like, to the Bed Bath & Beyond is one little road. I go out and I'm like, there's a little road. And there it was cars and exits and ramps and highways and interstates, and that freaked me out. I did not enjoy that at all. I was really getting very nervous, to the point Ian, sort of at one point, he's firmly like, darling, let me drive. And all I was doing was like gasping. I wasn't like screaming at him. I'm like, cars are coming out. It was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking. So that was a thing. So anyway, other than that, the shopping, oh my goodness, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh no, I tell a lie. On the Wednesday, we did go to the Hollywood beach. I'll put a picture up. We didn't go on the beach. I don't like sand. We had a lovely meal on the sort of like a boardwalk. It's called the Broad Walk. They're all nice. We took pictures. We saw the ocean, very pretty. It's like a turquoise, it's very pretty. I'll put a few pictures up. I went to the beach. My boys were like, did you go? They're all like sand and sun people, beach people. I'm not. But I'm like, I went to the beach, took a picture, came home, sat in the air conditioning. That was our trip. It was magical and sometimes it was a nightmare in others, quite seriously. Maybe I'm just a misery. Am I just a misery? Everything is so hard. Do you guys feel that? Like, oh, sitting on a plane. Don't want to get into it, but you have to wear a mask. Oh. and they tell you, they come along, mask up over your nose. I mean, which I did at every store, which is fine. I've gotten used to it. Well, I haven't gotten used to it, but like I pull it down and I'm like, oh, fresh air. So anyway, that was okay. As I said, American Airlines was very nice, very comfortable seating. So anyway, on last night, Tuesday, I don't know when I'll be editing this, but Tuesday, June the 7th, we came home. We had we had a 5 o'clock flight, but we had to the Airbnb, our son's Airbnb, was being rented on the Wednesday, and the cleaners were coming in. So we had to go, and that was fine. We packed everything up, and we knew to get a taxi that was going to come to our house and take us exactly where we wanted to go. Ian realized where the airport was. Real nice, big, huge, nice SUV that came, because we had quite a bit of luggage. And we got there, and it was like 20 bucks later, $22 or something, which was fine to get us to the airport. We packed, we put the car in the garage, and we did, cleaned everything up. It was nice. We were very blessed. So our son, we go to the airport. We did have to wait around several hours. We went and got some food, because Ian's like, well, it'll be a while before we get on the plane. So we were hanging around the airport, which was fine. They had the lounges were nice with the charging stations. It was okay. We ate. So our flight was on time, and we all boarded. They did say there was a flight that was canceled earlier, so it was a packed plane, and if we could please, whichever group we're in, which we were in the last groups, if we would check our carry-on, which I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do that, because I know for a fact that if you have to check it at the gate, the fast bag that goes in is the first that comes off, which it did. It was fine. So we checked that. I got out just my few little bits that I needed. So we got on the plane. Wonderful, lovely vacation. We're coming home. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot. We're because of the weather conditions in Philadelphia, which is like thunder and lightning. Oh my goodness. We're sitting here. We have to sit here for an hour in the plane, sitting on the tarmac with our masks on. Right, so that's okay. So we sat. We did make good time though. Once we got going, we made good time. We were only about, it was weird. We sat there for an hour, but we were only about 25 minutes late. Maybe he like really, put the pedal to the metal, and he got there quicker, because a lot of people missed their flights, their connecting flights, and they were announcing that the whole time. Anyway.
cell phone. When you open the...
Got our luggage. Again, it was wet. I'm like, whatever. I just want to go home. And we go home. We go outside. At this point, I'm like a zombie. I was like a zombie. And Maxwell was feeling, I was concerned about Maxwell. I didn't say anything, but Maxwell was feeling like, at one point his foot swelled up real bad. That's never happened on the airplane, just the way he was sitting. And he had slides on, fortunately, not flip-flops, nice slides. I said, take them off, but because of COVID, I'm like, well, take one off, the one that couldn't get his foot on it. Anyway, he finally managed. We were at sort of our wit's end. Our son picked us up, not in our vehicle. Our one son had borrowed our Pathfinder, and he had said to our other son, Niles, he said, pick mom and dad up. He has a Mercedes SUV. He said, pick mom and dad up in that. So there comes Niles. Wonderful. We're on our way home. We're about 35 minutes from the airport, 40 minutes maybe to our home. We're on the Blue Route. I don't know if you know that, the 476 coming out of Philadelphia. All of a sudden, lovely car. All of a sudden, we're on this road, and we see on the side of the road, huge, great big highway, all of these cars, 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, here, there, up about a mile, mile stretch, with their blinkers on, and their hazard lights on. I'm like, what in the world? What in the world? Oh my goodness, what in the world? That car's broken down. Oh, that car's broken down. All of a sudden, I hear Niles. I'm in the back trying to like zone out. All of a sudden, I hear Niles go, oh, 21 PSI, 17 PSI. Our back left tire was flat. He quickly pulled over, put the hazard lights on, quickly pulled over, completely flat tire. And I'm telling you, he just managed, so he didn't drive on the rim, he just managed to get over on the shoulder. These trucks barreling 4 foot away from his door and Maxwell's door on the left-hand side of the car. I didn't say anything. I was just imploding, thinking, I've been up so long, I can't believe this is happening. It was dangerous, right? So, fortunately, in this Mercedes, he can call someone for assistance, like a roadside assistance. Okay, it'll be an hour and a half. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, okay. And we just sat, and our son felt so bad. He said, I'll call you an Uber to get you home, Mom and Dad. He was so very kind. We're like, no, don't worry about it. He said, I'll go and change the tire. It's a donut in the back of the car. All the luggage had to come out. And Ian said, absolutely not. The trucks were literally 4 foot away from the car, running. I'm like, no, stay in here. When we couldn't even get the car because it was on the rim. Anyway, a long time late, not too long, the Mercedes assistance, roadside assistance came. And literally it was 10 minutes. They took all the luggage out, found the little donut, which makes the car wobble because it's not the same size. But you can go about 100 miles on those tires. About 10 minutes later. But what had happened in the meantime, we were waiting. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just want to go home. A police officer came up and with the lights on, and he's like, to our side, to my husband's side, in the passenger seat. So, are you okay, folks? And we're like, no, we got a flat tire. And he's like, what? He said, there must be something on the road. All of those cars, four cars. He said, what is it? We're the 5th car that has a flat tire. So something must have been on the road, that all of those cars that were flashing. Our luck, right? Oh my word, at that point I was like crawling out of my skin, right? So never mind, the guy came, he fixed our tire, wonderful, wonderful. We got on the road, and it was, as I said, it was wobbly, and my nerves were shot. I got on my last nerve, whatever. And our son was so very kind, so very kind. And our other son who owns the car, he was like, you know, get mom and dad home safely. So we got home, it was wonderful. They picked up our mail and everything. We came in, and of course, when you go, it was real hot. We had left the air conditioner on at a temperate level, but it was, you know, muggy, an unused house. But I walked in our home and I thought, what is that smell? Yeah, there was a power outage and our fridge and our freezer went off. This is 11 o'clock last night. I opened the fridge. Oh, the freezer, everything is melted. Everything. Everything's ruined. So I shut the door. Ian restored the power, hit the breaker. I shut the door. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Let it refreeze and let me throw it out all in the morning. So that, folks, is what I'm going to be doing now. I haven't even gotten dressed, look at me. And that was the last 2 weeks. You gotta laugh, right? I was like, oh my word. I crawled into bed. I then took a shower, crawled into bed. I'm like, oh. Ian's like, where's my toothbrush? I'm like, I don't know where it is. Use your finger. We crawled into bed. So anyway, that's my stories. I will be I'm dripping, I'm perspiring. I will be putting up some other videos. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I just thought I wanted to tell you after the fact. Obviously, on social media you don't proclaim it before, you know. It was after the fact. I was all excited to share with you guys our son's wedding. That was wonderful. Actually going to the beach. We ate out a lot. It was an expensive trip. It was expensive. I mean, eating out now. We don't eat out an awful lot. Man, eating out, like every meal was like 80 bucks. For like a sandwich and soup or something and a drink for the three of us. It was $80, $100. I'm like this, and I'm not cheap, and my husband's not cheap whatsoever, but everything was like cha-ching, 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 and I'm like, you know, and we didn't even have to pay for our car rental or our accommodation. It was still an expensive trip. Oh my word, oh my word. Oh, we did go on the last day, the Monday, we went to a butterfly farm, and I'll put a picture up. That was so lovely. That was a little thing. Ian's like, let's do something just the three of us. it was real nice. And then Tuesday we came home to a mess that I now have to go clean up and unpack. Oh my word. And make an insurance claim. And we did go to the American Airlines insurance, and of course we had to spend money to buy my whole new outfit, and then my dress was ruined, which was a nice dress. So we filled out, we took all the pictures, we had the receipts, and they're like, oh, it wasn't our fault. It was, you know, weather related. And then and then the insurance company said, well, it's not our fault, it's the luggage fault. You have to, which we registered our piece of luggage that everything got ruined in. So everybody's passing the buck. So that was like a loss of like 350 bucks. I'm like, oh well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? This system we're living in, the world. Like I said, everything was hard. Everything was hard. But there were flashes of enjoyment. I'm not gonna say like, oh, we just had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful, wonderful vacation. It wasn't. It was it was lovely and special to see our Elliot.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
Elliot. It was wonderful to be with the grandchildren. Up in
From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
But anyway, we survived. I'm going to put some pictures up, and I really thank you for watching my video and being loyal supporters. If you've gotten this far watching me, I really appreciate my friends out there in YouTube land. All right, I hope you've enjoyed the pictures or enjoyed the pictures. All right, have a good day, folks, and I will check back later. See you later. Bye-bye. Love from the True Loves.
To see the truth around you, from a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me meant to be